what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
That's like flawless though.
Yeah, I am flawless.
You're flawless? Okay, so like what, like let's be real this time. All right, so like on 1 to 10, like for real, like realistically, what would you rate yourself?
A 10.
A 10? What would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm a 10.
A 10?
Yeah.
That's like flawless though.
Yeah, I am flawless.
You're flawless? Okay, so like what, like let's be real this time. All right, so like on 1 to 10, like for real, like realistically, what would you rate yourself?
A 10.
A 10? Okay,
Yeah.
what about like a 2?
Nah, not even close.
Not even close?
Nah, you look like Lil Huddy though. How you gonna call me a 2 when you look like Lil Huddy?
All right, let's get something straight here about being a 10. Okay. When it comes to being a 10, I'll tell you, as somebody who's actually dated 10s, and I'm not saying that to brag, I have, right? But somebody who's dated and also cold approach many 10s. The one thing I've noticed about a girl who's actually a 10, right? We call them a dime piece. A girl who's actually a 10 would never refer to herself as a 10, okay? For the most part, these chicks are actually pretty humble of the fact that they're that good looking. And in my thousands, and I'm not even kidding, thousands of approaches out there, I'm speaking from experience. Every single woman that I approached and dated that was I would call a dime piece, never ever once referred to herself as a 10. Okay, never once referred to herself as a 10. The women that would call themselves a 10, that have that type of ego, that type of bravado, are usually the women who are 5s and 6s, sometimes 7s, but usually around the 7 to the 8, these chicks start to get a little more humble because they're actually cute and they're actually getting a good amount of attention from guys out there, and they kind of feel like they're almost taking advantage of the system for the level of physical attractiveness that they didn't really have anything to do with, because at the end of the day, they just won the gene pool lottery, right? Thanks to their parents. But it's usually these chicks who are the 5s, the 6s, maybe some of the very early 7s, or the low 7s, I should say, that will be so bold as to call themselves a 10. And this is what I teach guys in pickup and game, because contrary to popular belief, a lot of guys think the 10s, the 9s and 10s are going to be the meanest to you. But it's absolutely backwards. You'll find this once you start doing cold approach. You'll find that your whole world will be completely blown to shreds, right? All of this like brainwashing you've had from like movies and television to make you think like these drop-dead gorgeous women are completely mean and heartless and cold. You'll very quickly find, once you're doing enough cold approach out there, that it's actually the 5s, the 6s, and sometimes the 7s that are going to be the meanest to you, the coldest to you, that are going to take shots at you, that are going to shit test you the hardest. You'd think it would be the 10, and it's really not. This is why I tell you guys, many times it's easier to approach the 9 or 10 that's just like incredibly gorgeous than it is to approach the average looking 6, right? And this is why we have this term 49ers, right? It's basically, girls who are like 4s trying to act like 9s. There's a reason this term exists, because it's so prevalent out there. But you will find if you ever do cold approach, right, you'll find that the meanest girls will always be the ones that are very average looking and barely even cute, right? It's usually the girls who are average looking who are going to be the nastiest, the most toxic, and are going to have the most inflated egos out there, who are like literally like the girls in this video, who are going to believe that they are 10s. Even though it completely just contradicts all visual logic, right? All physical common sense. It completely contradicts that, because the first girl in the first video was, she was overweight, right? She was more than a few pounds overweight, and face-wise, she wasn't ugly, but she definitely wasn't a 10, right? Same thing with the girl who was at the beach, right? The girl was kind of like, not to take a shot at her, but she was kind of short and a bit stubby or stocky, right? But she literally believed that she was a 10, right? She literally said, "I'm a 10." Even a girl who was an actual 10 would never say that. If they were like, hey, if say a drop dead gorgeous dime piece was on that same beach, and she was being interviewed by the same guy, and he said, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. She would either rate herself much lower, or she would say, that's not for me to decide. Because that is what a person who is humble would say, right? That is a person who has humility would say. And that's usually the girls who are actually that gorgeous to be a dime piece, right? And just in another sense, beyond physical attractiveness, that makes you a 10 in itself, is having that humility, having that humbleness, and not being so loud and full of ego and narcissism to think that you're the 10. Because that actually lowers your rating, right? Because if you saw that girl on the beach, or even the heavier chick in the first video, and you thought she was kind of cute, if you heard her talking like that, you would not think she was as cute as you did before she opened her mouth, right? So these girls shoot themselves in their own, they shoot themselves in their own foot. But for the purpose of this video, the fact that this chick was, both of them were trying to claim they were 10s, and there were other girls like them. They were just kind of using the same soundbite. But there were other girls like them that I saw that I could have easily added to this video, but it was just getting ridiculous at one point, where they were like, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10. And they were clearly not 10s, man. They were like 4s, 5s, maybe 6s at best. And they were all claiming to be 10s. This is something, again, a 10 would never do. This is something that only a 49er would do. This is something that only an average-looking girl would do. And you will find this yourself if you approach enough girls out there, or even if you interact with enough girls. You'll find this to be true yourself. Look at the girls who are the most egotistical, the most loud, the most obnoxious, the most arrogant, the most narcissistic, the most full of themselves, the most self-centered, the most selfish, the most hostile. They're always the average looking girls. The actual gorgeous girls who are like actual 9s and actual 10s, dime pieces, you're almost never going to see that behavior from them. I mean, even me, like thinking of the thousands of approaches I've done, and the handful of, the very few, because it's hard to find like a real dime piece out there, the few dime pieces that I have met out there, they don't have that level of egotism, right? They don't have that level of self-confidence. It's funny because the most self-confident chicks that you'll find out there are the ones that are overweight and very average looking, and usually much older, right? Those are the most confident, empowered, and strong, independent. That's what you're going to find. It's not the 9s and 10s. It's the 4s, the 5s, and the 6s. That's what you'll find out there. So it did not surprise me at all when I saw these girls on the beach, very average-looking girls, claiming to be 10s, even though it defies all visual logic and common sense, right? Because you know what a dime piece looks like. Most guys do, right? Even face-wise. And, I always have a lot of guys argue with me, and they're trying to say, like, oh, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. My 10 is not your 10. And it's like, well, yes and no, because according to research and statistics, a person's facial symmetry is what gives them attractiveness. So the more facial symmetry that a woman has, like her eyes, her ears, her nose, her mouth, everything is like symmetrical, the more beautiful she is, the more pretty she is. Right? So a girl, if she has that facial symmetry and she has the body to go along with it, she's fit, and she's still youthful, she's attractive, and on top of that, she has a great personality and is humble. That chick is a 10, man. That chick is an undeniable 10, just because of her facial symmetry and her body and her youthfulness and her personality alone, right? If we're trying to talk about the complete package here. But girls like this that we feature here, right, like we featured in this coaching video, and many that I saw that were very similar to the ones I decided to use in this coaching video, every single one was average looking, claiming to be a 10, even though there was like just no evidence to support that. It's like, okay, you can believe you're a 10 in your own mind, but that does not make you a 10 in real life, right? Because I've talked about this before, how women, most of these, especially women like this, they love to live in a very subjective reality versus an objective reality, Okay, and if you don't know what that means, it just basically means that an objective reality is reality. That's what's real, right? I mean, if I were to look out here and go, hey, look at this Eiffel Tower. You go, yeah, that's an Eiffel Tower. That's the objective truth, that there is an Eiffel Tower right outside my bedroom window. But if I were to think subjectively, I would be like, no, that's the Empire State Building. That's not an Eiffel Tower. It's an Empire State Building. You would look at it and go, dude, what reality are you living in? That's an Eiffel Tower. And I'm like, no, to me, it's an Empire State Building. You know, that's me having a subjective reality, which most modern women have, right? They love to live in this fantasy that does not match up with reality, but even worse than that, they go a step further, and if you don't buy into their bullshit reality, they will attack you. They will cancel you, right? They will shame you. They will throw ad hominems your way, right? But that's the level of narcissism a lot of these modern women have, and clearly these two women that were on this coaching video earlier today are exactly that, because you got to be like a complete narcissist to sit there and say you're a 10. Like if somebody came up to me and I was on a beach and said, dude, rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, I would literally say, that's not for me to decide. I don't know. That's for you to decide. And if the guy wanted to like judge me, go, okay, well, this is what I think you are. Okay, fine. Right? That's not for me to decide. I mean, some of these like incels even did like a coaching video about like, or they did a video rating dating coaches. I don't even know why they would do that. It's like the gayest thing I ever saw. But I got rated a 3. I'm like, I'm a 3 in looks? Really? 3? You know, I'm like, what do you call a 55-year-old fat obese guy, balding hair, right? That's in totally poor health. What is he? Because even if you rate that guy 1, I'm a 3. That dude's only like two levels below me? Really? Gray hair, balding all. I'm like, so yeah, these guys, well, what do you expect? These dudes are like part of that like looks, money, status movement, whatever, right? But I'm sure they'll even clip this out, but fine, do that. But either way, I got rated 3, but yet, look at my girlfriend. Look at the girls that I pull. Go to my IG if you don't believe me. Matt Cross Official, right? You could see the type of girls I date. For being a 3 in looks, I think I'm doing pretty good, right? So I completely like exploded their bullshit narrative. Like, you have to be a male model to get these better looking women. No, dude, you don't. Right? But not to get far off track, either way, if I was on the beach and someone said, rate yourself, I would just say, I don't know. I wouldn't sit there and go, dude, 10. 10. Because I wouldn't be so narcissistic to believe that I am when there are male models out there. There are guys who with better eating habits than me. There are younger guys than me. There are guys who are more jacked than me, have six-pack abs, all this other stuff. It's like, I can't honestly sit there and tell you that I'm a 10 when I don't think I am, man. I'm just being real, you know, but I wouldn't sit there and go, 10, and then, no, you sure? Yeah, I'm 10. And then if the guy's like, I don't think you're 10, you know, and then come back at him and attack him, which the shorter girl did, right, on the beach. She, like, literally said, well, would you think maybe a 2? I mean, that was that was a little offensive, right, to call a girl a 2 right there. But, because I don't think she's a 2. I think she's higher than a 2, right? I would give that girl at least a 4 or 5, right? That would have been fair, 4 or 5. Or if he really wanted to be nice, just call her a 6, right? Because 6 is still average looking. Could have said that, but he didn't. He was like 2, so he took a shot at her. And then she took a shot right back, right? Which I don't fault her for, but anybody who was a genuine dime piece would not have reacted. Like, if he was interviewing a genuine 10, a gorgeous, drop-dead gorgeous woman who is a dime piece and said, hey, what would you say if I rated you a 2? She would just be like, okay, that's your, that's your opinion. Right? Because she's secure with herself. Right? She's just secure with herself. As most people are. I mean, even men would be secure with themselves. Right? Even when I got rated a 3, I was like, oh, that's funny. Right? I didn't sit there, oh, stupid. I was like, okay, I'm doing pretty good for the guy who's a 3 in looks. I think I'm doing quite well, right? Not only financially, but romantically. So, it just wouldn't affect you. But if you're female, completely different story. And you're an average-looking female, way different story. They cannot deal with criticism. They can't deal with somebody telling them the truth. And they will always just live in this very subjective reality where their 10s no matter what. And this is why you see like what's going on with culture today, just completely out of control with women's level of delusionality. But as always, guys, drop your comments below. Sorry, the sun's like the brightness. I'm losing some of the sunshine here. Drop your comments below, and sorry about the lighting, by the way. But drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you would like to add, anything you'd like to share, drop those comments below. Until next time, this is M from the 33 Secrets, signing out here from top of Vegas. Got an excellent view, as always, and always love to share it with you guys. So don't forget to smash that like button below. Go ahead and smash it right now. Also hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube. More importantly, guys, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. It helps me out a ton when you actually subscribe to my channel, so please make sure you subscribe as well. And for all of you guys who want to support my work and all of this red pill, gold pill, and platinum pill content that I am teaching you even further, the best way to do that is by jumping into my monthly online coaching program, 7 Months to Mastery, where I'm teaching guys just like you, yes, you, talking to you, how to go out there and approach and close the youngest, hottest, most beautiful looking women on the planet. I'm talking about 8s, 9s, and 10s, the same exact type of women that I am teaching all of my students out there, all around the world now, to go out there and approach and close every single week. And believe me when I tell you, we are making it happen every single week, no matter what type of divisiveness is going on out in the world, what type of erroneous is going on out there, or who's in the White House, it doesn't matter, right? We are continuing to live our lives to and at the highest level. Okay, and I want you to become one of us. I want you to join us, and it's real easy to get signed up. All you need to do is click that link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds, so do that now, and I will see you in my next coaching video. I'm out from Vegas, here for the month, as always. Just kind of escaping LA for a bit and doing a few private boot camps while I'm out here, and actually went out last night, so I'm losing my voice a bit, but here, up and shooting content for you, and got an excellent view. As you can see, there goes the Bellagio behind me. They had the fountains on earlier. Cosmo Hotel, where I used to stay previously. Haven't stayed there in a while. And of course, the Eiffel Tower. No need to go to Paris. Got the Eiffel Tower right there, and Planet Hollywood behind me, and the Las Vegas Strip, as well as the Miracle Mall, Aria, Luxor in the distance, Mandalay Bay. It's a great, fun place to be, and if you've never been to Vegas, you should check it out. So until next time,